Have you heard of the legendary Flame Knights of Crimson Desert? Soldiers that wield the power of flame. In Demeniss they have a castle, and if you clear it, you get some legendary loot, but depending on where you are in the game, you may not be able to fight them just yet. Here's exactly how to unlock the legendary Spada sword and Drake shield in Crimson Desert. The Flame Knight's castle can be located in Demeniss, right above the letter D on the map. There's an Abyss Nexus right next to it, which is useful, but if you go there early in the game, you won't find any Flame Knights to fight. That's because they only occupy the castle as part of the Letter of Silence sidequest, which only unlocks after you start Chapter 8 of the main story. Once you start Chapter 8, you'll be tasked with helping a couple of sisters to the southeast as part of the Ashen Steppes quest. After starting these missions, and sometime before finishing this story in a different castle, the Flame Knights will occupy their castle, which will turn red on the map, and the Letter of Silence side quest will unlock. You can now either sneak into the capital of Demeniss and then follow the quest markers to be told where to go, or you can head immediately to the Flame Knight's castle. It doesn't make much difference for the quest at all. Once at the castle, you need to clear enough enemies to lower the percentage meter on the left to 0. We recommend targeting any flamethrower wielding enemies first, as dealing with their fire is a real pain. Also, most enemies here will hurl firebombs at you, so watch for those as well. Once the meter is empty, run to the main courtyard deeper in the castle and a boss fight will start. Tristan, the Flame Knight, is wielding the equipment that you came here for, and you'll have to best him if you want it for yourself. If you've come here as soon as the mission unlocks, you may be a little underpowered compared to his damage output and health bar, but if you prepare with enough food, it isn't much more difficult than the harder fights in Chapter 7. He doesn't stagger easily, so the most reliable method for dealing damage that we found was to keep your distance as much as possible, and then when he slams his shield into the ground and causes an eruption, watch for the projectiles to make sure you don't get hit, then trigger Blinding Flash with L1 and R1, or left bumper and right bumper, before using the Blinding Flash finisher ability to hit him with a flurry of heavy attacks. Also, watch out for his charging attack. It's not too dangerous if you look out for it and dodge it in time, but getting hit by this one does a lot of damage. Once you've defeated Tristan, a small cutscene will play, the Letter of Silence side quest will finish, and then a new side quest will immediately start called Greed in Ashes, which basically just tries to direct you to his equipment. The Spada sword can be found just a bit further forward into the castle from where you spawn in after the fight, on the left and tucked away in a small training area next to some targets and dummies. Then up the stairs from the same area, proceed to the far east wall to find the Drake shield resting in the center of a storage area. The Spada is a cool looking sword with some cores already slotted into it, but it doesn't have any unique abilities. The Drake shield, on the other hand, has a very unique ability called Draconic Retribution. Basically, if you block with your shield and then use your heavy attack, you'll do a standard shield bash attack that is augmented by a fiery projectile being launched from the cannon in the shield's mouth. You can store up to 3 of these shots at a time, and you recharge these shots by blocking with the shield. It should also be noted that one of the rewards for completing the Letter of Silence quest is a pair of Scorchflame Plate Gloves. These gloves offer a small amount of passive spirit recovery, plus a volcanic eruption core, which activates once you've unlocked the Imbue Fire ability in your skill tree. If you've only just unlocked Chapter 8, you probably won't have this yet, but keep these gloves either in your inventory or in your storage until then, so that you can then try out this eruption ability for yourself. That's all there is to it for the Spada and Drake Shield. For more tips about legendary gear, exploring Pywell, and dealing with tough bosses, head over to our ever-evolving wiki. And for all other things Crimson Desert, gaming, and more, stick with IGN.